So today I want to talk about narcissists. So I'm going to be making a few videos on the topic of empaths and narcissists. And it's going to be part of like an empath recovery training video series that I'm doing. So just be on the lookout for other videos like this. So this topic today is on do not fear the narcissist. Here's why. Well, most of us fear, if you're an empath, I would say a lot of us fear the narcissist because we try to understand the narcissist, or we don't understand the narcissist. Like, they make moves that are confusing and sometimes just outright aggressive, sometimes passive aggressive, and we don't know where they're coming from, right? They might come from left field, or sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're mean, sometimes they're in a good mood, sometimes they're in a bad mood, right? And we don't know what to get. We don't know what we're going to get and what to predict, right? So that can be scary, it can be unnerving, and so that's where a lot of us can be afraid when we're interacting with people who have narcissistic traits. And I will say the reason that a lot of us are afraid is because we expect for the narcissist to at some point be a rational being, to be a rational human being. And so what we don't understand about the narcissist is that, or what a helpful categorization for me of narcissists is, or people with narcissistic traits, whatever, is that they can be classified in terms of being either sick or blind. Okay? So these people are a totally different class of people. In the grand scheme of things, do I believe that? No, I believe we're all people. We've gone through a lot of stuff, and sometimes the different things that people go through cause them to act, behave, and believe, and subconsciously or consciously behave in certain ways, right? So I do believe that. But when it comes to actual people interacting with people in our existence, the people that we come across who have narcissistic traits are people who are unpredictable. They're people who can say and do really bizarre and hurtful things sometimes, right? And for me, the best way of interacting with them is don't be afraid of them. Just consider them either a sick person or a blind person, right? So a blind person is someone who doesn't actually see the truth. They don't actually see reality for what it is. And so whether they actually see it or not doesn't matter. The point is that they don't communicate the truth, right? We've all been around probably different people who have tried gaslighting, which is telling you that what occurred didn't occur, or that what didn't occur did occur. So that's a big one. And I would say, when you're being gaslit, that the best response to that is just treating that person as if they're blind, like, oh, blind, sick, or dumb, right? Because it's like, okay, they didn't see that. I'm not going to deal with you like you're a rational adult human being, because I know what happened, or I'm pretty sure I know what happened, and so I'm going to treat the situation as if you're not going to agree with me, right? Like, we've all had our fair share of arguments with narcissists or people like that, who will try to argue until they are blue in the face that something didn't occur or did occur, or that their interpretation of something is correct. So instead of spending an hour or 2 hours or all night or a whole week trying to get to the bottom of things, you don't get to the bottom of things with someone who's dumb, with someone who is mentally incapacitated, right? Treat them like they're in a mental facility. treat them like, or in your mind, just process it as though you're dealing with someone who is mentally incapable of having this conversation, mentally incapable of having remembered the correct thing, or they're blind, like they don't see the truth. They just can't, and they won't. That's where part of our crazy making comes as empaths and people who try to work with these people, people who try to work with people who are really difficult people. So we think that if they see the truth will prevail. We think that if they see the truth, they will recognize the truth, right? And they don't. They won't. Either they don't or they won't. And it's not for me to figure out. I don't know, right? I think we get so we want them to know the truth and admit the truth. But again, it's like talking to a blind man. They just pretend they have blinders on. They didn't see it. Whatever the real truth is, they didn't see it. Whoever you are really in who you are and what you did or didn't do, you know that. You get to know that truth, right? But they don't. They don't know that. People who are people of goodwill and people you probably want on your side are kind of people who generally believe what you have to say. Generally believe that if you say, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you," they believe you. Or if that's who you are and if that's true, and if you feel you're acting out of integrity, then they believe you, right? If you know you're not a bad person, then the things that the narcissist is telling you, you don't have to believe. Treat them like a blind person, treat them like a sick person, treat them like a mentally ill person who doesn't actually, are you guys seeing this blur that I'm seeing? It doesn't matter. Just kidding. It's totally blurry. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, I think I made that point. So basically, if you are in relationship with one and you're arguing with them, it's gonna look kind of like two people arguing about the color of the sky, right? If two people are arguing about the color of the sky, one person says it's blue and the other person says it's purple, and the amount of time they spend arguing about this is the amount of crazy that both of these people are. Who's the crazy one? Like, if two people are arguing about something that's clear as day, even if you see it, you know the sky is blue, and the other person's telling you it's purple. If you continue to argue with that person, which one of you is crazy, right? Why do you need them to see that the sky is blue? Why do you need that? So if you're in a relationship with one, as opposed to seeing yourself as a victim, you can see yourself as, so if they're sick, then you're being the doctor, right? If we're playing roles here, if that person is sick, then you can either, if that person is sick or blind, then you either can play the doctor or the guide dog. And I hate to put it in blunt terms, but that's just the truth. Like, if you're choosing to engage in these relationships, you're either a doctor who's trying to fix a sick person who doesn't admit that they're sick, who doesn't want to say that they're sick, or you're a guide dog, right? That's what you're signing up for. You think you're signing up for a partnership. You think you're signing up for a friendship. You think you're signing up for a business partner. You think you're signing up for whatever you think you're signing up for, you're not. You're signing up for the role of either guide dog, who's trying to lead this person to the right scenarios to try to not get hurt because they're blind and they're not really seeing things clearly and properly, and they can't really take care of themselves and they need you, okay? Or a doctor who's trying to heal a sick person who doesn't admit that they're sick. Okay, those are your options. If you can think of other options, please let me know. I would love to hear them. I would love to hear different analogies. I really do. I think this is really fun and interesting. So if you have any, please let me know. And if anybody's a doctor who's tried treating a patient who didn't think they were sick, just I'm sure you know how difficult that could be. So now, if you are in if you're in an actual situation where it's dangerous, then your fear is a signal to you that this is an environment that is constantly triggering fear in you, and just ask, why am I staying here? Why am I staying in this environment that is constantly triggering fear in me? You're choosing that. Like, everything that you do is a choice, right? And if you're living in a place where there's a person, or working in a place where there's a person, or whatever, where there's constantly this feeling of fear, what are you doing with that? Are you using that as a sign that I need to get out of here? Or are you trying to fix a situation that is just giving you the same feelings over and over again? It's a shitty place to be. It really is. So some advice that I would give, if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, whether it's a friend, partner, or a family member, is to allow their behavior. Don't resist it unless that means you need to get out of there because it's unsafe, right? Because that does happen. If that's the case, you need to get out. But just be an observer. Like, people talk about the gray rock. Just allow it, right? If someone is sick, or if someone is a blind person, like, or you're wanting to assess, like, what is this person doing? Like, what actually is this person doing? And what does this person actually believe? What does this person actually think? How is this person actually treating me, right? So when you're just in allowance, you're given this opportunity to observe and really assess the situation. Just be an objective observer for a little bit and watch your interactions with this person and ask yourself, why am I putting up with this? Why am I putting up with this? What role do you want to play? Do you want to be someone's partner, or their healer? Does this person want to be healed? Yeah. So when you think of them as either dumb, sick, or blind, there's less to fear, because you're really going to be always the superior in that situation. Even if they're being dominant and aggressive, you ultimately know you're the one who holds the truth. You know what's going on. And you can find the best way either out of that situation, or the best way to handle that situation, knowing what you know. So just be aware and ask yourself those questions. And if there is fear, what are you choosing to do with that? All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Like this video if you liked it. Comment below if you have any thoughts or questions about this, and subscribe if you want to see more. All right, see you next time.